first found out about the drill bit peg winder, I thought this can't be a good idea, can it? And I thought drills and guitars shouldn't really go together in general as a rule, but I decided today, thanks to Daddario, who approached me and asked me to make a few videos, and sent me a bunch of things to check out. The serious part of this video is going to be switching from a set of 9s to a set of 9.5s, and I did want to talk at some point about something I discovered about, you know, the differences between sort of 10s and 9s and some things that you may not have realised. But yeah, let's try this. You helping?
Yeah.
Ah, good. You hold on to that? Ta. This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. Right, so we'll take a guitar that it doesn't matter if it's wrecked, I guess. The PRS Silver Skies, because there's going to be a bunch of you in the comments that hate it as it is. So this has got 9s on it at the moment.
Guitar.
Yes, guitar. Huh? Bang, 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 bang. It's a very percussive instrument, isn't it, guitar?
Guitar.
A very helpful baby. Where would you learn a word like that, buddy? Right, so a set of 9.5s. Now, here's the thing that I wanted to talk to you about, actually. Not you, Elodie, but, you know, people watching this. If you look over on the right-hand side in the set of Daddarios, it has this thing about tension of these strings. And this is, I think, quite important. So a set of 9.5s of this particular type of string, you just smash it against guitar, mate, is the E string is 6.64 kilos, the B string is 5.46, and then the G string is 6.66. Now, on some other strings, those tensions actually, as you go down in string gauge, fall a shocking amount, especially, well, not so much on the wound strings, but especially on these strings. You can't really have these because these are sharp. What are you doing?
Mama.
No, I'm Dad. It doesn't have any strings now, you can't pluck them. Right.
Let me challenge.
Right.
Come on. Don't pretend you're dead.
The moment of truth now, right? Right. Let's figure out how this... Right. I'm working out how the drill works before I put this on the guitar. Right, so... Tuning peg. In. Right, I need to go the other way. Oh, well, my headstock's not ripped off yet. Nice. Well, it's better than a Gibson Robo Tuner, right? This feels so crazy. Right, let's get another angle. This is crazy. And then one more. I mean, it is a lot quicker than, you know, doing that by hand, and my wrist is thanking me for it. This does work and didn't destroy the guitar, so that's a really handy little tool actually to have around. Maybe use it with a less powered drill than the Hitachi. Now, something that I've never really seen anyone talk about particularly is this. So string tension. So Daddario actually have this string tension pro thing here. So you can basically select your guitar. You can change your scale length if you need to. So at the moment, this is set to be like 25.5. You can set it to be in metric or kilograms. So I'm going to leave it in kilograms for me because the tension thing, I understand a little bit more in terms of kilos probably. But equally, give this a try. So we're here set up with a standard set of their excess coated strings. You can see basically you can make quite a big difference in the amount of tension. And we can actually go into individual strings like this. So here's really what I'm concerned about. So particularly when we're bending, we're going to be probably using the E, B and G string more than anything else. So on a basic set of 9s to 46s, right, we've got 6 kilos of tension on our E string. So that's, you know, far more than even your average Norlin era Les Paul, right? 5 kilos on the B string, and then even more, so 6.7 kilos. So this is just a set of 9s as well. So if we go up in string gauge here, so like 10s, yes, string, look how much. 7.5 kilos, 7.5 kilos on the E and the G, 7 kilos here. And I used to use 11s. What a huge amount of tension on our hands, fingers even, you know. So 9 kilos, 8.4. The E, A and D string doesn't change as much because obviously relative to the size, you're talking about, you know, a mil or two of difference on a thicker string is not as important as on the lower strings, which are only a few mil in general. A basic set of 9s, 6 kilos, so a third less tension than you have on an 11 gauge string. And what happens as we take that down to 8s, and this is kind of the important thing, that gets basically halved. So something really important, I think, that we should really be thinking about a bit more, especially if you're like me and you're like on the back 9. No, I'm kidding, but you know, once you get into your 30s, I think you start to notice a little bit more in terms of tension in the hand. Your hands ache maybe from day to day, and I think this is something, if you've not really thought about this, you might be a little bit surprised by just how much of a difference this might make. And also, let's just do this. Tuning to E flat, for example, can make a huge change in the overall tension, particularly again on these strings down here. So I think if you've not considered any of these tension things, give this a play. And there are 9.5 gauge strings. That can actually be quite a significant stepping point, because as you see, that gives you that all important midpoint between, you know, gauge 10 and gauge 9. If you're still using 11s, I think it's definitely worth thinking about how much tension you're putting on your fingers and stuff like that. Just an interesting thing that I found. It's actually written in sets of strings inside, so you might want to take a look at this. But if you're using gauge 8 strings, tension down there at 4.7 kilos. So much different on these lower strings than a set of 10s, 7.4 kilos, set of 11s, all the way up there to 9 kilos, which is not a small amount to have on a finger. Do you know what I mean?